Alright, so in your custom programming setup email, you will see a URL link that will link you to your program workbook. And this link grants access, so your coach will grant you access to this, which you will need to then open up and add to your drive because you should have a Google account or this won't work. So what we're going to do here is you'll click the URL, you'll probably get a window like this. We're just going to click Add to Drive. Alright, so hypothetically this client, which happens to be my father, is Mark A. Dewar. So it's open in your drive. So what we want to now do is you can just exit out and we're going to go in through here. So if you click this is obviously my email. We're going to go through here and you're going to click this apps button and it's going to go to your drive. And once it's opened up, now you may have a lot of things in here like I do, you may not, but you can see it's going to be right there. Now obviously you could just type your name in and it would be called My Programming Workbook, or it might even just be your name, whatever is filed under. So you can move this wherever you want. You can go in through here and go to your drive and you can drop it in different folders. These are all my folders, but for now we're going to go in to here. So you want to click this. So the cool thing about this is that is a folder, right, with your name on it here. So anything that goes within this folder, your coach will see, which will be me or another coach. So if you share something in this folder, you're in the folder. If you share it here by uploading, you can upload files, which when you upload your pictures, you'll have to upload that, your pre and post pictures. When you upload your movement screen that you had to do in the welcome email, that's how we'll be able to see this and be able to collaborate with you throughout the process. So if you upload those, they'll appear into this folder, and J2Fit, which is us, will be able to see that. So once all those are in there and you've uploaded those movement screen videos and your pre-pictures, we need to then go into the My Program Workbook, which is where you'll find all of your programs. So if we click in through here, you need to fill out a couple of these beginning steps because this is really what's going to give us the most detail so we can really customize your experience. So I'll move it over here. So your first step, liability waiver. What you're going to do here, you're going to click it, and I don't want to take the tour. So you're going to click it, and you're going to go through here, and it's going to open up a new window for you. You just got to sign in here. So this is your electronic signature. So, you know, my name, for example, would be Mark. I do my last name. I would do my signature all the way through, full name, the date, and then this is your social media release, so any pictures that you use, any success stories that you have, that's that. So when you're done with that, you're just going to submit it, and then you're done, and you can go and you can close out of this tab. Yes, let's leave this page, and it will submit, and it will, but you have to make sure you submit it. So you've completed the first tab. Congratulations. Your second one, we're going to go to your J2Fit screen. Within here, you'll see there's all kinds of cool little cells. You want to make sure that you are only touching the yellow cells. If you see here, sometimes I can't go in there, right? But we don't want to touch anything that's not yellow because there's programmed formulas in there, and we don't want to mess with those, meaning you don't want to mess with those. So trainer, be Mike, your date, you put your date in here, your name, date of birth, age, blood pressure, resting heart rate, all that stuff. And what's going to happen is it's going to start auto-populating throughout the rest of the sheets, right? So just for instance, Mark, let's go here. Let's go that. Alright, blood pressure, resting heart rate. You could go through here. I won't take the time there, but that's what you're going to do. Next one is your circumference measures that you took from the welcome email. You need to put them in through here. You can see that we have the right form here. It's not a really big one, but if you wanted to take it, you could. and then it's going to spit out a number. So let's say that my waist-hip ratio is a pretty big one. So let's say it was that, and my hip was 40. You see that now it gave you a ratio. You can go down to this chart below and say I'm a male between 50 and 59, and my ratio is below 0.9, which it is. Then I'm in a low risk, and this is a low risk for cardiovascular disease. If you look at the BMI chart, if I was to put my height and weight in, you know, it would spit out all these numbers for you. So that's that. Once that's completed, you know, you have to put all these in there. We're going to go to, you can look at the body composition. This is just going to auto-populate from everything. But this right here, you don't have to worry about this unless you're a client and you actually come and see us in New York City, or if you're working with, you know, somebody who's a trained professional to be able to do your calipers. But this is really kind of more advanced screen that if you say make a trip out here and you want to come see us, you know, we can caliper you and give you a pretty good accurate read on pincher test. So you go to measure tracking. As you put information in here, like I only put some of in, but it will start to track out for you, right? And you'll be able to get a pretty good trend line of where you're falling with your results. Your next one, your nutrition. All this will be auto-populated for you, but you'll have to go down to the drop-downs, and you'll see there's drop-downs. So my primary goal, you know, to lose body fat, it says 17 calories per pound. If you put in 17 here, right? My body type, you know, you can look here. Let's say he's an endomorph. You know, obviously this is generalizations somewhat, but want to really pay attention to getting as close as you can. 25, 35, 40. Remember those numbers because the first number of the series you put 25 in. I believe we had 30, and I believe we had 40. And that's what you want to do with that. And then these will auto-populate. Now you can see nothing's happening. That's crazy, right? It's because I didn't go and properly fill this in. But say my weight was 195, right? And say I also did all that. Started to calculate things. If you look at my nutrition now, it tells me these calories. Wow, that's crazy. A lot of calories, right? We want to now make sure that we're losing the body fat, and that's what we have. Now, these are general estimates. This is going to be pretty shocking for most people to see that. However, if most people break that down into what they're eating, I think they'll be very surprised that they're actually overeating what they think, right? Nobody's really eating a 2,000 calorie diet because most people are not walking around with that build of 2,000 calorie diet. So these are once again a generalization, are pretty good estimations of what you need to be doing. However, you know, obviously use common sense, and the pictures and your assessments throughout will help. The last one here will be your chart here. If you don't know any of your numbers in terms of the weight for reps, don't worry about this, but say back squat, you know, 185 pounds for, I did it for 3 reps, you know, want to keep these reps something you've done for like 2 to 5 reps. I don't really want to see all the ones in here, as I don't want to see 10 because it doesn't really project it out very well if it's not near that maximal strength. But as you can see, it kind of projects where your 1RM would be and all this great stuff. So we go on to the last part. So you've done all this. Your coach will see it, right? And then he's going to go back and he or she's going to go back and go to the exercise program, and they're going to build out your program. Now, obviously, it's a blank program. The coach hasn't done it, right? But you will see this fully populated, and all you will have to do in these cells here, you will put in your load, right? And he's gonna, they're gonna select loading for you sometimes. So if that's the case, say it's 80%, and it's a back squat, you know, and you were 185 here, and you did it once, and you look to this chart, 80%, we're looking at 150. So that day you go in and you'd enter 150. That's what it is. You can see here the exercise demo. Within these, you'll start to have direct URL links to videos that, you know, quick little short videos that can help you determine how to properly do the exercise. And that is pretty much your programming. We have all this going on for you. You want to make sure you don't touch any of this stuff. We want to stay within the cells, and really it's yellow if you touch it, And anything else, don't touch. And you can access this anywhere on your desktop, on your tablet, on your mobile device, anywhere, anytime. And when you're done, all you simply have to do is close out because it auto saves. So I hope this was very helpful. And once this is done, your coach can then program for you and get on the call and get you started. So thanks for joining and subscribing to our service. We look forward to leading you on your journey to fitness. This is Mike Dewar, co-founder, head coach. Have a great day.